Chapter 10. Alone again in Kingsley's den. All for one and one for all. That was the way how they crawled. It was the premises upon which they had stood up tall. They had pledged this to each other from the very opener, and for some of them this was the right call. Well, for at least one of them. It would have served him well in the end, or more like near the end of him. Or did it? It was to have happened when comes the time. In a little while, it would have been time to divide the looted spoils. Built upon this mantra, they would have ventured out and prospered. Even if it was just to be for a short while, they would have prospered and in style. But then, upon one glorious return back home again, with all of the loot which they had earned and win while hopping and popping out and around in circulars then, there sat them down, readying themselves to go to town. Jolly and young was the dividing night. Got things here to divide and share upright. But that was not going to be this time. Golden treasures makes the eyes go blind, at least some of the times. And this here time, this was going to be one of those sparse sometimes, sitting all there in a rounded line, just like it's done every return home time. Kingsley was to begin to do his thing. As always, the shears starts and ends with him. He would have begun accounting on, this is mine, this is mine, this is yours. To the other man on the other side of him, he began to count the very same sin. This is mine, this is mine, this is yours. Before one could sneak in a pacified word, came the chinks and swash from battle-tried swords, thirsting for the blood of Kingsley's sort. Out of him who had now transgressed the established art, and had dared to despise the ritual rites. The dirt will bite you, Kingsley, upon this night, but reprieve, reprieve. The king knew his slave. He knew him very well indeed, the face of the man in whose hand was the sword, drawn in anger at the head of his lord. It belonged to him who once had saved his life, and would have proven his worth, value, and might. No bloodletting, aid the king. No more bloodletting, no, not tonight. Before the night's end and all was done, they would have hugged around and passion tossed down. You are a good man, he would have said. You deserve a better deal than you were being dealt. How about us calling it quits and done? Comes the rolling chuckles off of Kingsley's tongue. It was merely fun. No, we are even, son. All for one and one for all was in his soul. This is how this current Kingsley rolled. He had a plan when he would have knelt himself down in the treasure ring around his throne, and beside the pile of looted things, silver, gold, diamond, rings. Rubies was moody and could not sing, and yet all manner of precious jewelry thing. Nobody touch anything here until I'm done. He would have commanded them squares, and like how it was known to be done aforetime fair, like when he would have gone in first and would have parted the pile with a clawed rod or any other such parting device bad, and based sometimes upon how large a pile, or even the sort of hardware spoils. This time, however, he was playing the clever. He would have gone in firstly, yes, and would have carefully counted out the mess, and measure it out, handful after armful of the looted treasure, and placing each in a pile by itself, each man's measure. He would have warned them earlier that no man should venture in to take his portion before he was all over and done, as opposed to how it was done in the past times when, after he was done with taking his portion, each man would dig in and try to outdo each other to come up with the biggest bite out of what remains of the stolen apple pie. Oh no, babe, don't cry. Two or more people were obviously angered by this, at the king's bad manner, Mr. Quicksilver temper and the kid. The kid though, unlike how it was for the quickly one flow, the kid never did, like, he never did say a word nor acted in any threatening ways, nerd. He just remained put right there where he had laid himself squared, backed up against the board in a corner board, and wearing a stone-cold sword upon his armor cord, and an indignant stare out of a gaze-ward fear, a cord that could cut a man through like a blistering word of anger. But he would have been riding out his last night there atop his own grave light. When all was said and done, he would have fared worse off than Mr. Quickly One, but not for very long.